better watch out if your enemy's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me, and he gets caught real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the score, never getting bored. Lots of blood and gold, always wanting more freedom from the source. They don't really listen until they feel it for the bought in. If you start shit, you be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you left scars ripped, you be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight.
We know what we saw. We know what we heard. It wasn't spontaneous. They came prepared for battle. Body armor, chemical weapons, zip ties. Their mission, to overturn an American election.
We will never concede.
Outnumbered, brave law enforcement officers fought hand-to-hand to save our democracy. Many were wounded. One died the next day. Post-traumatic stress syndrome drove 4 January 6th heroes to suicide. Donald Trump calls this violent terrorism a day of love.
That was a day of love.
He's promised to pardon these violent criminals. That's wrong. Evil.
Those people have suffered long, hard,
and
I think it's very unfair.
Don't let one man rewrite history. We know what we saw. We know what we heard. There are no alternative facts. Only the truth.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another show. Hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. So we had a last minute cancellation. We were going to have USMC Angry Veteran on the show this week, but unfortunately he had some problems with some kidney stones, which I've heard are the male equivalent of giving birth. I've never actually experienced one, but yeah, I've heard they're extremely painful. So he will not be joining us today. However, we do have another show that we were able to throw together at the last minute that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. And honestly, now that the environment has changed, we've been talking about Project 2025 so much that now we're shifting our focus to the new oligarchy that is coming in and taking over our government. So that's what tonight's going to be about. The billionaires that are supporting Donald Trump, just their absolute will, even if they don't agree with his policies, they're willing to at least throw money at him. It's getting quite pathetic.
Got to make sure that they're going to continue rolling in the dough.
Yeah, the White House has turned into, I mean, it always kind of has been, but now it's really turned into a pay for play because everybody knows the easiest way to get Donald Trump to do something for you is to throw money at him.
Yeah, like so sometimes it's flattery, sometimes it's flashing a wad at him, but
yeah,
deep down, I mean, he's already spent his whole life debasing himself just for cash. So when it comes down to it, the only thing Donald Trump respects is money. The only thing he cares about is himself. So
this topic, income inequality in America, has been this is honestly the reason I started this 4 years ago. The reason I wrote my book, the reason I started podcasting, everything, all this is all because of that. I was just pissed because I just felt like, I don't have a college degree, but it just always felt like my whole life, no matter how hard I've tried, something has always gotten in the way. And I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of it. I think a lot of people are sick of it. And I hate to say it, but I think the whole Luigi Mangione thing is kind of what brought this to a head and really put it in the spotlight. Because a lot of people, go ahead, buddy.
No. Finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Well, I'd say a lot of people, I mean, like we don't obviously agree with murder, but at the same time, people get it because we've been everybody, we're just being oppressed by a handful of people in this country now.
If you look for an outlet for your oppression, for your frustration, for your rage, human society is very rarely offered an outlet that is not violent, because we are still, no matter how long we've been recording history, which is not that long, we're still violent little, afraid little creatures.
Right.
And unfortunately, the system we have allowed to be built around us through manipulation, through laziness, through whatever, through promise of everyone being a billionaire, has given us no way out. Now, I'm not advocating large-scale violence against the ruling class, okay? I'm not doing that. What I'm saying is you can't discount what it feels like to be oppressed to the point where you get sick, you don't know if your insurance company is going to cover it. You lose your job, you don't have insurance. You lose your job, you can't pay your mortgage. You know, everything that we have or are afforded is tied to our jobs. And what are our jobs meant to do? They are not meant to provide products or services. Our jobs, what you and I do and all of us do every single day, is in service of the great capitalist overlords, the new oligarchs of the United States of America. It's pretty straightforward.
Right, because let's do some numbers here. There's only 800 plus so billionaires in the United States, which is like 0.0006% of the American population. And I looked it up. I think there's approximately at any given time probably around 22 million millionaires, which is still only less than 7%. So less than 8% of the population, they get to do what they want, because if they get sick, they can afford the best treatment. If their kid, needs surgery, they can afford the best doctors. They get the best tech. They get the best everything. Houses, cars.
Here's all you need to know to prove that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
Well, I'm reinforcing what you said, because we don't have a healthcare system in this country, right? You pay a middleman to decide whether doctors are going to get what they ordered for you or not. That's what we have. But in a country where your teeth and your vision are not considered part of basic medical care, who can afford that? It's just $1,000 to get this. It's just maybe $5,000 to get veneers. All the rich people have super nice fucking teeth.
Oh yeah, don't get me started.
I mean,
on that.
let's just think about it that way. If this was a society meant to create basic comforts for its citizens, we would have healthcare. We would have the ability to get a cavity drilled without going into debt. Like, think about that. Yeah, but we don't. And all those people are just handing out millions of dollars to Donald Trump's inaugural fund just so they can get VIP seats at his coronation.
Let's call those what those are. Okay, those are not donations. Those are fucking bribes. Okay, to curry favor with Donald Trump. Okay, that's all they are. They're not. Let's stop calling them donations. Thanks to the Supreme Court, corporations can put as much money as they want into politics now, because that's their free speech. Which I don't know how a corporation has the ability to fucking speak. But you know what I mean? But whatever. That's just my opinion on it. But yeah, so America has been bought and paid for now by the millionaires and billionaires in this country. It's obvious. I mean, it's so funny to me though, like Donald Trump supporters are all like, yeah, we're going to drain the swamp. We're going to drain the swamp. And then Donald Trump is just like there with the hose with billionaires coming out of it. You know what I mean? He's just filling it even deeper with more people.
Thank you for this comment, man. Thank you for this comment.
Let's see. What does it say? So, the human age, past history, time for a change of perspective and action. Oh, thank you. Yeah, very much.
I mean, that's kind of what this episode turned into. Jeremy's been wanting to do let's focus on the rich for a while. In the past week or so, I've been kind of focusing on what do we really need to do to move forward? And oddly enough, they're very linked. And, we'll try and show that as this episode goes on, because if you look at it now, it's obvious what's happening. Whether they expect favors or not, all the rich people in this country know that they have to donate to Trump. So at the very least, they're not on his they didn't donate to us list, because Trump is a petty little scumbag. And even if you don't even what's the Microsoft guy's name? Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates has come out many times and spoke up against Donald Trump. Guess who donated to Trump's inaugural fund? Now, to be fair, he did that for Trump's last inauguration and for Biden. So he's kind of an equal opportunity. Just don't worry, I'm still a good guy. I'll play by the rules. But at some point, you got to accept that this is no ordinary presidency. This is the convicted, sentenced for nothing but felon rapist who is now going into power and taking money from rich people and telling everyone that he's going to do what the rich people want. He's not even pretending.
America is the American dream is the greatest, and George Carlin talks about this. We actually have a clip of him explaining wealth inequality in America. It's the greatest con in human history. They have so many people believing that if they just work hard and, take risks and, create their own opportunities, that they'll be a billionaire or at least a millionaire.
But don't go to school, don't go to college, right? Don't get an education. But who are the people that are rich? They all have educations.
Yeah, go. Oh, shocker.
Who are guess what? All those rich people, they take their vaccines, they pay for their medical care whenever they need it on demand. They have everything you don't have, and it's because you work your ass off every day and they take all of the money. And
Right. Now, some people that are rich deserve to be rich because they build it from nothing. Like I'll use Eminem and Dr. Dre as an example. Both of those guys came from absolutely nothing, and they
it's weird how it's all musicians, right?
Right.
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is the same
Taylor
thing.
Swift is a billionaire. That's crazy. I think Dr. Dre is a billionaire, isn't he?
I think so, but I don't remember.
I know when he sold Beats, that was a multi-billion-dollar deal. But yeah, some people deserve it, and they're good, they're decent people. But most of these sons of bitches are some of the most corrupt, and they've been handed stuff. Like Donald Trump, for example, he was handed $400 million worth of wealth. Just based on the increase in the value of the dollar, he should technically be a trillionaire. Really?
Yeah. He lost it all because not one of his businesses has succeeded.
He's a shitty businessman. But they've somehow convinced all these Americans that if you vote for us, you could be us too.
Well, where did that come from? I mean, that is all part of the attack on not just education, but information, right? Mm-hmm. The only reason everyone in New York that had any awareness knew Donald Trump was a scumbag, scumbacious piece of crap businessman. But the frickin' stupid television show that he was on made people across this country believe he was a brilliant guy because for some reason, people don't understand that the word reality show doesn't mean not scripted fake bullshit.
Right. So this is my problem with people like Donald Trump and Elon Musk, because their entire image was built by a PR team. I made a video about this earlier for YouTube Shorts. Like they haven't accomplished anything, but they had a great PR team that built this amazing image. Like in Elon's case, it was a guy who left his wealthy family and came to the United States with nothing and built his way up, which we all know now is bullshit. He came here with a pile of money. And then Donald Trump, they made all these people in America that still believe it, that he's this great businessman. When the producers themselves admitted that when they walked in the Trump Tower, it was in shambles. They had to create an entire studio to make it.
Think about that.
So he's better
people
at what he
thought
does.
They were looking at Donald Trump sitting in his boardroom. They were on a set, you stupid morons. But again, people don't have the ability for critical thinking because forget just our educational system. People stop being critical when what they are told appeals to them, when what they are told comforts them. People don't want hard truths. They want comforting lies. And that is what this oligarchy is going to give us, because we now have the media giving money to Trump, bending the knee. We have all of our tech bros bending the knee. We have everyone bending the knee to Trump. And guess what? When you do that, you accept that Trump is a vindictive asshole, and you know that you don't get to back out and go against him. So all of this bending of the knee is letting you know that at least the next 4 years are going to be corporate Trump hell. That's it.
Since Trump's first term, I want you to look up when Trump first took office till now, how much the billionaire class has exploded.
And it's not the number of billionaires. It's just how much the existing billionaires have increased their wealth. 3
examples is Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and what's his name? Zuck the Cuck. Yeah. That's his nickname on Threads right now. I'm sorry.
No, we don't have to say allegedly anymore, because you can say whatever you want on Facebook.
You know what I'm saying? But those 3 guys, just look up the amount of money that they have accrued. It's insane. Like, nobody should have this kind of money. Why?
Capitalism.
Why the fuck?
I deserve it. I did
no,
it.
No, you don't. Nobody deserves to have hundreds of billions of dollars.
How about this?
Insane.
Let's look at it this way. Because I think one of the problems we have
off of this episode.
Yeah, I know. I think one of the problems we have in getting through to people is that we harp on the money. So let's take the money out of it and let's look at it in terms of what the money gets those who have it. All right? Mm-hmm. Instead of saying nobody deserves $1 billion, Do a handful of people deserve to have the best medical treatment without any delay in question over 99% of the population?
Right.
Does the very few handful of people that can have and buy any comfort, any joy, any hobby, do they deserve that over the 99.9% of the people in this country? When you take the money out of it and look at what the money gets you, you realize there is a crafted inequity that is meant to secure a class of very few people that have all the comforts of humanity, all the modern amenities, and don't have to worry about a damn thing. Is that fair? Capitalism says so. Morally, I don't agree with that. But
I don't
so,
either.
and we're not making this up,
100%
folks.
on the money. Here.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to go over some slides? We'll go over some slides? Go for it, please.
Okay, so it's important to note that donations to Trump's first inauguration in 2016 also set a record when he brought in nearly $107 million. Trump's inauguration committee for 2025 has already raised a record $170 million in donations. Why? Not because more people love him, because we saw what happened. Trump won, shittiness won, capitalism won, unfairness won, and they want to make sure they are not on his naughty list. So he's getting all these donations, so people, whether they agree with him or not, are like, hey, we donated, we're good, leave us alone. Who donated? That's important. That's more important. Amazon, Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, said last month they were each planning to donate $1 million to his fund. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman also said he was planning to make 1 million personal donation. Now, keep in mind, all these AI companies are destroying the environment. Trump loves AI. They could fake a lot of shit when there's no rules against lying anymore. Think about that. Boeing and Google each gave $1 million for Trump's inauguration. Who else? Automotive sector, Ford, General Motors, Toyota each contributed $1 million. Energy giant Chevron also joined the donor list, but did not disclose how much. Do you realize which industries are donating the most and what that means for the environment, for progressives? One more, Microsoft also joined the other tech giants, joining $1 million. Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, is also reported to have contributed to the inauguration.
Right. Now, keep in
Everyone
mind,
that controls everything.
This is what that pisses me off again. They don't believe in the Project 2025 and Donald Trump's like deportation plan. They don't give a shit about that stuff. They just know they could curry favor with Donald Trump if they give him money. That's what this is about. Again, they're bribes. And just to be clear, by every president raises inauguration money.
Yeah.
Okay. Joe Biden, however, raised a whopping $62 million for his inauguration.
That's just for the party, guys.
Yeah.
Like, you need to understand that. This is selling VIP tickets to have a bash. And also, I'm a little concerned. Is that money going to the inauguration or his creepy unknown rally on January 19th? We're going to talk about that in another show.
I heard it was being directed in one of his packs. It's going into his pocket.
Yeah, it's going right into his pocket.
Come on. There are no rules anymore. Once Donald Trump takes office, all bets are off. Okay, corruption, bribes. You think they're going to be prosecuted for this stuff? Yo, come on, wake up. Like, that shit is over.
Donald Trump was prosecuted for bribes, and he got off with nothing.
Yeah, not even a day in jail. Like, seriously, this is a joke. This is a joke.
They should have given him one day, 8-hour work shift cleaning up trash on the highway. That would have been enough. I would have been okay with that.
And let us fucking live stream it so we can just enjoy every bit of it.
That would have been
fun. It would just be
actually.
Perfect. So, all right, let me play a couple videos. First, here's George Carlin, like I promised, explaining wealth equality in the United States. And keep in mind,
he was a genius.
Like 25 years ago, he was talking about this shit. This guy was way ahead of his time with his content.
On the scale, I'd like to talk about some things that bring us together, things that point out our similarities instead of our differences, because that's all you ever hear about in this country is our differences. That's all the media and the politicians are ever talking about, the things that separate us, things that make us different from one another. That's the way the ruling class operates in any society. They try to divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle classes fighting with each other so that they, the rich, can run off with all the fucking money. Fairly simple thing, happens to work. You know, anything different, that's what they're going to talk about. Race, religion, ethnic and national background, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything they can do, keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank. You know how I describe the economic and social classes in this country? The upper class keeps all of the money, pays none of the taxes. The middle class pays all of the taxes, does all of the work. The poor are there just to scare the shit out of the middle class. Keep them showing up at those jobs.
Yeah, did you hear? That's so true. Did you hear this? I don't know. This is so sad. First, all right. So this is about Elon Musk. We already talked about the whole Adrian Dittman thing, and then I still think that he is that. I can't remember the writer's name, but I still think Elon Musk, and this is just a wild theory of mine, because this person, I looked up Adrian Dittman, and the character is in a book by this one author, and she's written like 10 books in 2024. And 2 of them happen to be about Elon Musk's love life. So my theory was that Elon Musk is using AI to write books. And a couple
I forgot you mentioned that. Oh man, that's so
funny,
true.
Man.
That
All
is so true.
Now Elon got busted. Apparently, he's got a reputation for being this amazing gamer. You know, and people are like, "How does he do it?"
Well, he has nothing to do with it.
So phony. Like, these people are so fake. And Elon, this is like a desperate cry for attention. But he apparently is this really high-ranked gamer in this game called Path of Exile, and another game called Diablo. Well, so he, I guess, went on a live stream where he was playing himself, and he was so big, like everybody was like, "There's no way, there's no way." So apparently, maybe allegedly, Elon Musk has been paying this account, because you can look up information now. Paying the account, I think, originated in Asia or something like that. Like, it's not even in the United States. Yeah, and so the theory is Elon Musk is paying somebody to play as him, so he can take credit for. Sound familiar? This is like how he does it with all his companies, dude. He buys them and then he takes credit for them. So he buys a character that had somebody else is playing, leveling him up, and then he's just like, "Yeah, I'm just super good at everything." The dude has never created a fucking thing. He has never invented anything, man. That's what pisses me off about him, man. And they control the information, though. That's what I want to talk to you about, Mike, before the show. They control the information. You were going to mention something, weren't you?
Well, no, you just dovetailed into what I was going to pull up.
You know what I mean? Like, Elon controls Twitter. Fucking Zuckerberg, he controls 3 platforms.
And when? And think about the timing. This is the scariest part. Meta says it will stop fact-checking posts. They're going to get rid of fact-checkers and recommend more political content. Now, this might ring a bell. I remember when Facebook, during this latest campaign season, was like, we're going to throttle political content because no one wants to see that. So all this means is he contributed to Trump, and now he's going to allow pro-Trump bullshit.
I didn't even think about that, dude.
Right? Fresh off their $1 million contribution to Trump's inauguration, Meta has announced it will no longer fact-check posts to its social media platform. Instead, it will rely on community notes. Guess what? People have already asked, can people say and post that trans people and gay people are mentally ill? And the answer is yes. Can you say that drones are seeding our atmosphere to make people gay? Yes. Can you say Jewish space lasers are causing climate disasters? Yes.
Oh my God!
So now what you have is now. I'm not saying social media should and has ever been this bastion of facts, but if you allow completely unbridled bullshit and propaganda, what you get is Fox News on a bigger scale. The fairness doctrine, thank you, Ronald Reagan, led to Fox News via Rupert Murdoch creating a propaganda network in the 80s and 90s that led to the 2000s and 2010s, and now creating MAGA. Okay, that is what happens. And now when you have nothing, no media, no social media to prevent against the large-scale mis and disinformation that is happening and going to get worse, you get a group, you get a whole population of people that are easy to control because they don't know what the hell is going on.
Dude,
and when you pair that with lower education, no one knows critical thinking skills.
Right? I realized today that TikTok is honestly probably the least propaganda platform that is out there right now, man. It's honestly the least of our concerns. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. This is absolutely insane. So, they brought up a good point with the Supreme Court. They're like, if you're going to ban, like, everybody collects data. That's their whole argument with TikTok.
Yeah,
They're
everyone.
collecting our data. No shit. Every website collects our data. Our data is literally out there right now.
But they're
Just
like, oh,
running
if
around.
China's getting your data, then that's a national security concern.
Right.
Let me explain something to you. The only way that data from TikTok is a national security concern is if that data is used to craft propaganda and then given back to us to control, I don't know, elections or the media. Gee,
like-
Russia. Gee, Elon
Twitter.
Musk. Gee. I mean, like,
yeah.
so what they're
I mean,
doing is they're
yeah.
demonizing that one group and allowing another group to do it worse on their behalf.
Right. So think about it. It's like for progressives, like this is gonna be a nightmare. So if they get rid of TikTok, because they censor our shit on TikTok too. It's like mutually censored. You know what I mean? It's not just like they let one person run wild with certain content. So if that goes away, there's no video platform other than YouTube or Instagram. But our shit's gonna be oppressed or suppressed on Instagram too, which leaves like blue because that get rid of Threads, Facebook, forget it. It's like
look,
I don't know.
You gotta understand. Pay to play isn't just a concept. Mark Zuckerberg is not going to donate $1 million, which means nothing to him, okay?
No.
To Donald Trump, the same day he gets rid of fact-checking, and he's not going to, pick whose facts he allows and whose facts he does not allow?
Who do we remember that is notoriously against fact-checking? Donald Trump has actually declined to do certain interviews because there would be fact-checking.
J.D. Vance at his during the debate was like, you said you wouldn't fact-check me.
I know, you said you wouldn't fact-check us.
You know how you fight back at that? You know how you fight back at that? If you're not a scumbacious piece of crap, you tell the truth and own it. But
yeah. You know, now's a good time to play this video. Donald Trump actually had something to say about all the people that were coming to Mar-a-Lago. But he said it in a way that is just utterly hilarious. It's only 9 seconds long, and
I'm sure he only lasted 9 seconds.
So, from what I've heard, it's actually 6 seconds longer than he lasted with Stormy Daniels.
We apologize to our younger viewers. We're just angry today, so we just don't care.
But while this video is playing, because I always forget to say, if you're watching right now, please hit the subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate it. And we may play this video again in the near future.
We're going to play it again today.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Bezos came, Bill Gates came, Mark Zuckerberg came. Many of them came numerous times. The bankers of all time.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Look, I just want to say one simple thing. An 80-year-old man does not have the awareness to not say something like that. If there's one reason we need a Gen Z representative to be the face of this country, it's because they won't say something that stupid. Like,
everybody came. Multiple
everyone.
Times. Multiple.
I want to point out, Jeremy held me back.
His dance.
Oh, that fits with face sticking. Oh, no. So look, I made an overlay when Jeremy showed me that. And I deleted it. I'm not going to show it. I posted it on my Instagram, but it made me think of something. And let's just say it's not appropriate for a family show.
Yeah, I just hope the videotapes never get released of that event.
But let's face it, this is Donald Trump. He's not known for his awareness. But I think what's important is one of the reasons we get angry is because you listen to Donald Trump and you're like, he didn't even say one coherent sentence. There aren't 3 words strung together correctly. And the average MAGA doesn't know any better because, again, not just with the attacks on education in this country and the dwindling use of education in this country in forming coherent civic-minded citizens, the disinformation and the constant sane washing of Donald Trump has led people to not be able to realize the guy is literally just drooling at the mouth when he speaks. And I have 2 examples. Yeah. These are what I would consider the most recent, most widespread comments that Donald Trump has made since he won his second term. They make no sense. Okay? Just freaking listen to this. We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring that covers a lot of territory. That's right there. The Gulf of America. What a beautiful name. It's like the whole ocean, not an ocean. Take an acre. You know, an acre. You have a house half an acre, on a quarter of an acre, or an acre. If you have an acre, you have a big deal. Now you multiply that by 625 million acres. It's like, feels like the whole ocean. What is that? That is someone who won the presidency a second time, and in one of his first press conferences said he's going to rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America, and those were the words he used to convince people of it. So a week or so later, he was asked, what would you have done different than Biden in Ukraine? Now, if we remember, Donald Trump is not in favor of Ukraine. He doesn't even understand where it is on a map. And as far as he's concerned, Granddaddy Putin told him Ukraine bad, but just...
Yeah.
This was Fox News. So, you know, they were like, that's a great answer. Here we go. Hold on to your butt. Well, what would I do? What I would do is we have tremendous military capability. And what we can do without planes, to be honest with you, without 44-year-old jets, what we can do is enormous. And we should be doing it. And we should be helping them to survive. And they're doing an amazing job.
What the fucking...
But if you look at what he said, let's try and rationalize what he said. He spent the whole campaign talking against us helping and intervening in Ukraine. He literally just said there, what we should be doing is helping giving Ukraine things that aren't our planes. Well, we don't give them planes. We haven't given them planes. In fact, what we have done is given them things that aren't planes. So he just said he would do the same thing as Biden.
He's an idiot.
Without
let's not forget
coherent
Donald
words.
Trump. Like, we're going to be laughed at. This is going to be such an embarrassing.
Canada is already
years.
making videos. Canada's representatives and the Mexican president have been making videos mocking Donald Trump because he's so dumb. These people are going to get reelected in their country just mocking Donald Trump because it's so fun.
Let's play it again today. Let me load the clip I played the other day. I made a video about this the other day. The prime minister, or not the prime minister, but Elizabeth May. Here, let me. All right, I found it. All right. Let me let it load. Elizabeth May, member of Canadian Parliament. She just destroys Trump.
I just want a leader.
It's so good.
And you know what? To some extent, I'll extend this to Biden too, because Biden was not a great speaker for a number of reasons. That's fine. I'm not going to trash him on it. But my God, what I would give for what almost every other country has, which is a leader, an elected leader, that actually can speak a sentence that not only makes sense, but inspires you and gives you confidence that they're there to help you.
Right. I have no confidence in Donald Trump.
44-year-old planes would do what he would.
Failure. But this is, like I said, it's going to be so embarrassing for the next 4 years. I mean, Donald Trump is the guy that he thought he went to the UN, got laughed out of the room almost when he said, I've done it.
Do you remember the picture where he was trying to hold hands with the other leaders and he couldn't figure it out how to just do this?
They were making fun of him. But Donald Trump, let's recap some highlights. He thought that the stealth jets were actually invisible. Yep. He did not understand that stealth meant invisible to radar. He wanted to, he thinks wind turbines are pissing off whales to the point where they're beaching themselves. He's obsessed.
You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene should introduce a bill to address the whale suicide rate.
Right? She did.
They don't care about anyone else
already. To rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. She was so excited about it. She ran to Congress.
Oh, thanks, Sean.
Hey, we appreciate that, man. That's why we're here. We wish we could just get through to more people. Unfortunately,
you guys are normies. Like, it's fun
you guys
talking
watch
with
us
you
all the time. We look forward.
And
to
I know we do our little thing, which we're going to do again Tuesday. Some more words to help MAGA. Like, it's semi-joking and semi-not because, like, our community that has been kind enough to build itself around us. And we don't look at us as like this epicenter of anything. We are just part of a group of human beings that want a better America for all people. That's all we're trying to do. So just please try and get the word out, not just for us, but for all of us, because we need help. All of us need help to survive this.
Yeah, even if you click, like, you can help us just by clicking share on this or copy link or whatever these buttons on the bottom of these stupid videos do. But any clicking is good. Even if you don't like the video, any interaction is good interaction. But we have trouble getting YouTube to push our content for some reason. Like, we have no idea what else to do. We've upgraded our equipment to get better audio and sound quality. We've tried to, do better editing. And
we have a great community.
Yeah, we have an awesome. I love what we're building here.
We'll get there.
Some great people along the way, though. So, all right, so back to the topic at hand, though. So, Elizabeth May, I fired. The video's loaded, but she actually had a great offer too. She's like, "Hey, Trump, I have an offer for you. How about some of these blue states? Come on, we have free health care and stricter gun laws." I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, that's like, I'm on board. Let's go. I'll be a Canadian. I'm in Pennsylvania though, so technically we're a red state right now, I guess. Which sucks.
I mean, I'm in New York, and it smells like a red state here. Let me tell you.
Right. So here's the video that I could get enough of this lady. She's great.
So no, sorry. And I really also take offense, sorry, Mr. Trump, took offense to your idea that Pierre Poilievre wasn't good enough to lead the Conservatives. Wayne Gretzky, I mean, he's great. He is the great one. He skates to where the puck is going. It's not going to MAGA. The puck is on a Canadian ice rink. And by the way, Mr. Trump, please, before making public pronouncements that Wayne Gretzky should run for prime minister, give yourself or get yourself a briefing on the nature of parliamentary democracy, a Westminster parliamentary system, and a constitutional monarchy where no one runs for prime minister. We have elections for members of parliament. We don't get to pick and choose among our billionaire friends for who gets a seat at the cabinet table. If they're not an elected member of parliament, well, Canadian system is different from that of the United States of America. I suggest that Mr. Trump find one of his grandchildren's school books and look at the year 1776, which may explain a few things to him about why our systems of government are different.
She's just, oh.
Yo.
It's gonna be an embarrassing
question.
Years.
Can we elect her as president of the United States?
Shit, I like her, man. She's one of my favorite people.
Yo, I gotta follow her on whatever social media she uses because I could watch that all day. That sarcasm was delightful.
Yeah, it gets worse. She goes on for like 4 or 5 minutes, and every bit of it is just delicious. Oh, I love it. I love it when people talk shit about Trump, especially women.
It's not hard.
Because you know how Trump is. He's such a chauvinist pig that these people they're so thin-skinned is what gets at me. Like Elon Musk, you're making fake characters and having people play video games for you to try and fit in. And
we're talking about Musk. Hold on, let me call up one of his tweets that I just saw today. Oh my God, where the fuck is it? Okay. Liz Mkhitaryan, who we are so happy to have as one of our friends from Stop Moms for Liberty. This was posted in the Stop Moms for Liberty Facebook group. This is what Elon Musk just said. I'm sorry, but we have to stop with the ridiculous sign language interpreters who turn serious press conferences into a farce. There are closed captions on all broadcast channels and streaming services. No wild human gesticulators necessary.
Dude, that's ridiculous. All right.
Fuck you, Elon.
Not only that, like I could tell you why this is stupid to begin with. As a father of a daughter who was born deaf, closed captioning fucking sucks.
Yep.
It sucks. It's like
it's not as fast. It's not as accurate.
Right. It's usually like 2-3 sentences behind, depending on what you're watching, and it's completely inaccurate.
And guess what, buddy? You know what my favorite thing about that is? I mean, a bunch of different scumbacious things about it, but my favorite thing is those interpreters are typically also in the venue where the thing is happening for the people in the audience to use.
I can't believe somebody would say that. Like, what kind of asshole are you?
Do you want me to answer that? Because
no. Well, we're going to record another episode. There's some other shit about Elon Musk that we're going to be exposing and talking about, but we're going to do it on
Thank
Tuesday.
you so much, Jeanette.
Thank you so much, Jeanette. Damn, you can stay with the donations there. I still haven't figured out. Like, see, we don't really care about the monetization part. Like, yes, it would be nice to
love
make
it.
money doing this,
but we're using
honestly,
it for the
I
show.
don't even know what like half of this shit means. We just do the show because we want to.
And to be fair, everything we've ever gotten has gone directly into the show. I'm not going to the dispensary. I'm not doing anything with that money. We bought microphones and
computers
because we want to make sure our message is as clear as possible, and not just our message, but the progressive message with the people we have grown to become great friends with. I mean, I got to tell you, being able to recognize people in our chats is one of the coolest things in the world. We really do appreciate all of you.
Yeah, you guys will be.
Should we add closed captioning, or should we just do this whenever Elon Musk talks?
I know, right? I can't. These people drive me absolutely crazy. So let's get back to a couple clips. We're actually already at 40 minutes. Jesus.
We've been ranting for 40 minutes about Elon's stupid Musk. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm glad we're doing this show because I want to get a lot of this stuff out because
same Sheldon, same thing.
Because there's different levels of I'm not knocking people with money. Like if you make 6 figures, you're not.
If you earn it and don't step on people, earn your money.
Right. Even if you're a millionaire, great. Just as long as you don't fuck people over. I'm so tired of people being ignorant. Like, can't we just be honest and decent? There's a thing in England that they take pride in. It's like an old tradition. Not everybody does it, but it's called being a gentleman. Like, it's just like, we used to learn this stuff called mind your own fucking business back in the day when I grew up. I learned to be respectful of others, strangers.
You know what? Something that goes right in line with that, and it's something that's always bothered me. I was lucky that I was taught to hold the door and say thank you, right?
Yes, please.
And what I remember growing up is that invariably the people that would never hold the door and never say thank you when I did were older people. Typically, and I'm not saying everyone, the boomer generation. And to this day, right? I was in a little shop yesterday with my wife, and I held the door for some 2 kids who were leaving. I didn't expect a thank you. I didn't even want a thank you because, to be fair, it rarely happens anymore. But they said thank you. And most often when it's someone who says thank you or holds the door, it's a kid. It's someone younger than me. It's not the older generations.
It's funny. I'll be nice. I'll turn from nice to an asshole real quick. Like if I hold the door for you and you don't say thank you, I will say you're welcome really loud.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? I think LL Cool J said it best. He said, I'm a good guy. I'm not a nice guy. Which is not like how to describe me. Like, yeah, I voted for that asshole.
I would have too.
I'm in Pennsylvania. I supported him.
Maybe we have to do a show. We need a little more time to see who's going to crawl up Trump's ass. But we're going to do a show on
Fetterman's a good target for us because he's technically a Democrat, but we don't talk about Dems that much in a negative way. You know what? It's about time. Because there's got to be some traitors. There's got to be some traitors.
This seems like perfectly reasonable democratic socialism. We elect our leaders. We allow the free enterprise of success, but that success comes with the responsibility of supporting the community that made you rich.
Let me go ahead and play this video I have of Jon Stewart that leads perfectly into that, where he explains
are our viewers getting into our heads now and anticipating what we do?
They must be, because he perfectly explains, like when government helps corporations, it's just kind of how the way things work. But when the government helps the people, that's socialism.
See, this is the lie they tell you. That all this money flowing towards corporate and moneyed interests is actually for your benefit. The government intervention for corporations is our free market. But government intervention for workers is socialism. And that's the reason for the socialism scaremongering. It's a false choice. To make you believe that this country has but 2 options. A socialist, authoritarian, hamburgerless Venezuelan nightmare, or accept the status quo, where large corporations benefit from government help, then use some of those profits to lobby the same government for more government help. They want you to believe that in a free market, while your wages stay low, someday the largesse will eventually trickle down. And in the meantime, enjoy watching your tax dollars help billionaires launch themselves into space.
Very well said. But it's so true. We could have, right now, we have enough money in this country. If the billionaires paid their fair share of taxes, we could have universal health care. We could have amazing universal health care. Actually, I think it's been proven that the universal health care would cost the government less than, it would be more efficient than what we have now. But
here's the thing. Let's do the simplest breakdown of that real quick. Right now, we have jobs and those jobs provide us with access to healthcare, limited. That healthcare typically covers nothing, and then you still have to pay after they take money out of your taxes at your job. You still have to pay a copay, and you still have to pay before they'll pay. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
That makes no
so
sense.
if you have like a $5,000 deductible, that means you got to be sick as hell for the whole year before your shit even kicks in.
Meanwhile,
You're
they're
paying out
also
of your own
taking
pocket.
money from your paycheck. So
Right.
now that money that you pay doesn't come back to you barely and doesn't go to anyone else.
Right.
But the math is available for anyone to look at. If everyone just had a little bit of money, less than your normal amount that gets taken that you don't get back from your insurance company, if everyone put a little bit less in and it was all for everyone, we would all be able to have care. It doesn't cost as much as you think and as much as anyone wants you to believe. It's already there. We're just putting a middleman in to get people rich. That's it.
But they've created this socialism boogeyman that everybody's so terrified. Well, not everybody. People on the right are terrified of socialism. It's like, dude, free shit from the government. Like, why is that bad? I don't want the government involved in my healthcare, but you would rather have rich CEOs like the guy from United Healthcare. You know what I mean? You pay your $5,000, like you just said, you pay him money, you pay him money, you pay him money. Okay, say you do reach the $5,000 deductible. Then they turn your shit down once you put the claim in. Like once the doc down, like I watched the story of a girl who broke her ankle, and it took her like 3 weeks to get an authorization to get a surgery for it. Then come to find out the doctor was in network, but the hospital that he was authorized to do surgery at was not in network. So they then again turned her down. And by that time, her ankle, because I had broke my ankle, that's why the story interested me. They did my shit right away because I was on Medicaid at the time. You know what I mean? Like government insurance is good. I'm telling you, you may not get the best doctors, but it's paid. It helps. It's good. It's not a bad thing.
You're not getting doctors now. So I'd rather get maybe not the most expensive doctor, but a doctor that could actually see me and treat me. That'd be nice.
Yeah. I mean, there's different levels to,
But look,
like I said.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say there's different
I'm just
levels
angry.
to like what we're talking about here. Like we're talking about the ultra wealthy that are trying to manipulate their way into the White House. You know what I mean? But there's people that are well off. There's people that are rich. You know, people that make six figures. They're living life. They're having a good time. But you know, most people are in debt because everything's freaking expensive anymore. And then there's people that are broke who have jobs and have bills and have rent, but they have enough money to pay for it. And then there's a lot of people that are just poor. Like when I wrote my book, I think the statistic was, so this is 4 years, 4 years ago. 50, this is per capita, not household income. 50% of people in the United States make less than $30,000 a year. Just think about that for a second. That's like 180, or no, I'm sorry, my math is off. So it's like 150, 60 million people. Or I don't even know what the population of the United States is right now.
350 million?
Yeah, all right, so 175 million people make less than 30 grand a year. Think about it. If you right now are making, oh, you know what? I have a perfect clip for this that goes right into this. Like the difference between making 30 grand a year and making 60 grand a year is life-changing.
Oh,
for most
this
people.
one. This is a good clip.
This is insane. This guy will never be on MSNBC again. I guarantee it. Because one, he calls Donald Trump a rapist, but the other thing is for what he points out, and which is what we're talking about. The income
Spot
inequality
on.
here.
And look at Joe Scarborough's face. He's like, you can't tell people this.
Yeah, this is spot on. Just let me play this real quick and we'll talk about it because we're almost out of time.
Once you get above a certain level of wealth, you get no incremental happiness. So why on earth would you not go back to a tax policy of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, where say above, pick a big number, 10 million, you actually pay more than 10%, maybe more than 20%, maybe more than 50%, because the difference between 30,000 a year for a household and 50,000 is enormous to the well-being of that household. Low-income kids in low-income households have higher resting blood pressure, but the difference between making 10 million a year and 15 million a year offers you no happiness. But these individuals have weaponized government, and we risk revolution, whether it's CEOs being murdered in the street, whether it's a Me Too movement that had righteous components of it, or Black Lives Matter. What are these movements? They are targeting the wealthy. We are in the midst of a series of small revolutions to correct income inequality. And the reason we put an insurrectionist and a rapist in office is because for the first time in our nation's history, a 30-year-old man or woman isn't doing as well as his or her parents were at 30. Why? Because the majority of households are having the oxygen sucked out of the room, such that a small number of individuals and a small number of companies can be worth more than nation states. Income inequality is out of control. Our tax policy has gone full oligarch.
Should one person have more money than a country?
Right. Think about that for a second. Like, and this is so true. Like, once you make a certain amount of money, you can't buy happiness. If you're an empty soul with a black heart, you're never going to be happy no matter how much money you make. So all they do is just take more. Well, more for me, more for me, more for me. You know what I mean? You think at some point these people would just stop and go, I'm cool. You know what? I only need X amount of dollars. I can just donate the rest. Maybe I'll get rid of homelessness in the United States. Maybe I'll make sure every child in the United States is fed. But no, why can't we have that? That's all we want. Mike and I, that's all we want. Just
right, Addison.
people.
Someone's speaking actual truth.
Just be better people, man. Just do.
It doesn't occur to them. That's the scare. I think let's go back a little bit. When Jeremy and I say no one deserves to be a billionaire, what we mean is no one deserves to achieve that level of security and happiness on the backs of others. Okay, because if you do that, then really you're locking people into a socioeconomic status that is subservient to you, which means whether you like to hear it or not, it's slavery. It's not chattel slavery, but it's a form of almost indentured servitude. It's certainly economic slavery. And I mean, what else is it if you can't achieve anything because all you make has to go to someone else who does nothing?
So I mean, what is Elon Musk doing right now? He wants to give her. I found this out. He fired like 2,800 or 1,000 people from Tesla last year, and the reason was he wanted to replace them with H-1B visas, lower pay. Because this is how Elon is. He'll tell you, look, you have to work 80 hours this week, or I'm going to fire you. Because if you get fired on an H-1B visa, you can get deported. Because then I think they only give you a very short amount of time. I think it's only like 30 days or something crazy to find another job. So they can literally hold your citizenship or your entry ticket in the United States over your head. It's servitude. He's gonna pay him, maybe. You know what I mean? Who knows at this point? Who freaking knows? But let's get into some other things that are gonna be embarrassing this year. I found this clip. Brian Tyler Cullen put this on, I think, Threads, and this is the clip I was looking for a while back, where Donald Trump tells people, this is about when Donald Trump was president. Wildfires in California are a notorious thing. They happen all the time. And this is Donald Trump basically saying that he thinks science doesn't know. What does that even mean?
He also thinks there's a big faucet that you could turn on and off to get water.
Yes, they do. Like, they think because, I think Donald Trump, because of the way the globe is, like every time he's seen a globe, I think he thinks water from up north just automatically, it just works its way down there. It's always gonna go there. But no, it's like he doesn't understand how the world works. He doesn't understand.
He doesn't understand how shoelaces work.
No, but this is a good clip.
That science is going to be key, because if we ignore that science and sort of put our head in the sand and think it's all about vegetation management, we're not going to succeed together protecting Californians.
Okay, it'll start getting cooler. You just watch.
I wish science agreed with you.
Hey, well, I don't think science knows, actually.
It's gonna get cooler. Donald Trump doesn't know the difference between weather and climate.
Didn't at one point he say everyone should go through and rake up all the dry shit in the forests and we won't have forest fires?
I think he once just said if we make the forest ground wet, if we just put water on it. It's in the mind of a child, man. And
a stupid kid who fell off a high chair and dented his skull. That's what he is.
Right. He should be wearing a safety helmet, for crying out loud, not running the country.
Oh, look, he already wears a diaper.
I know, it's appropriate. It's very well fit.
Sorry, that was
Oh
probably
my God.
ableist. I apologize.
That was, I know, but I just thought of
God, I hate him so much.
I just thought of the funniest superhero. What he's Trump with the diaper with the cape and stuff.
I'm gonna AI the shit out of that. I'll do that.
I'm sorry. It's inappropriate. I know,
Thank you, Addison, for. Thank you. I knew it.
All right, so one more video. You know what? Let's play this video again, just for fun.
Oh,
Jeff
no.
Bezos came, Bill Gates came, Mark Zuckerberg came. Many of them came numerous times. The bankers.
That part. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
But to be fair, this all comes
times.
down to I think it's obviously all connected, because when you control the media, when you control social media, when you control all the avenues of information and education and coordination, you get to have yourself a fascist state run by oligarchs. And it comes very clearly to me that there are a lot of people that are starting to understand the reason we got here is not just because of the network of education destroying groups like PragerU, like the Heritage Foundation, like Moms for Liberty, but it comes to the people, the voters that are grassroots movements that are organizing themselves. Here's a great post I came across. Yo, left-wing content creators, who's making the group chat? As an ex-conservative influencer, the only reason conservatives won is because they literally organize using enormous group chats. They are one huge machine that works together to dominate social media platforms. We need to do the same. We all remember Swifties for Harris, white guys for Harris. I watched one called Horror Fans for Harris, Nerds for Harris. Where did they go? Okay, you have groups like Stop Moms for Liberty and Defense of Democracy building teams and networks to get people trained in how to run for politics, how to run for school offices. But we also need these networks to help disseminate information, because those traditional methods are gone. The media is useless. Social media is about to become a terrifying wasteland of disinformation. We need to be able to communicate on a large scale. That is what we are trying to do. That's what people like Midas Touch is all about. They are building a network. That is what Brian Tyler Cohen is doing. We have to get messages to each other. We have to get information to each other, because the rich people have bought the microphone. That's it. They bought it. We don't get to speak at that microphone anymore.
Basically, state control media at this point. They want to control what we see, what we don't see, and they want to silence us.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. But no, they want to suppress.
This is brilliant. Imagine if a team of billionaires pledged every 4 years to work with whoever the president is to solve one major issue. They could solve almost every world problem in a short time. Oh, that sounds like socialism. I don't know. That's pretty evil.
The crazy part is their lives wouldn't even change. You know what I mean? They could, if Elon Musk just gave away $200 billion, he could still live exactly how he's living now. Nothing would change.
Well, that's the point that guy made about incremental happiness. Money buys happiness because it buys security. But when you have everything in your life taken care of, your medical problems, your entertainment, everything, when you have all of that and you don't have to worry anymore, money does stop buying happiness.
Yeah, and stop.
So what's the point?
Stop thinking these billionaires are like you, because I've said this before, they've never been you. They've never known the struggles of what it's like.
Elon Musk doesn't know what it means to wonder if he could eat that day. Donald Trump doesn't know what it means to wonder if he'll be able to have a roof over his head. These people think Jeff Bezos created anything. He was given a loan and he started based off, I forgot who it was, but he was given money to start his business. There are no tech companies, none, that were just started by poor people. They got money from someone. Money has to be given. No one just worked hard, saved, and created $1 billion. That's
Think
not
about
the
it.
thing.
If Mike and I had a budget, you know how many subscribers we'd have right now? We'd be out on every airway all over the place. If we had a budget. But we don't. Mike and I have literally done this whole show with just the little amount of money that we've
And
made
you know what? That
via
motivates the shit
donations.
out of us. I'm
It
glad
does.
we
It
can't
actually,
lay
yeah,
back and just
absolutely.
be like, we'll use this to write a show today.
No,
We'll
but
just
I'm
come
just
on.
sick of watching these people. Like, I want us to, honestly, I want us to be heard by more people. I'm tired of just, doing all this work and we get a couple hundred views per episode. It's fucking pissing me off.
I just
And
want to
not in
point
a bad
out,
way, not to the point where I'm going to stop. It's to the point where I'm just going to get louder and more obnoxious. You know
someone
what I mean?
just joined my Instagram called Kyle Rittenhouse is crying. Oh man, I love people. I love
That's a good
people
name.
sometimes.
But
I don't
look,
like most people, but I
this
do
is-
enjoy a lot of people.
We have look, let me play this video. This is super weird. You may have seen it already, but this is like the 4 years of what we have to look forward to, like Donald Trump worship. Okay, this is creepy, and these are kids, man, kids. Do I have to remind everybody who Donald Trump's been? All right, never mind.
This is so gross.
Cowardice.
This is disgusting.
Serious? Apologies for freedom. Freedom brings answer the call. On your
Listen
feet,
to the
stand up
words.
tall. Freedom's on our shoulders. USA.
I swear the guy in the blue hat in the back has a boner.
Face the music. Come on, boys, take them down.
Come on, guys.
President
This is
Donald
creepy.
Trump knows how to make America great. Do
Ew.
strength or get crushed every time.
Oh God, y'all. Oh God, it's like, I know, right? Yeah, exactly. That is so creepy.
I don't like that.
Trump.
I don't like that.
He's the best. I'm sorry, man. These people are fucking weird. Man, I used to think I was weird. I know, I'm normal. I used to think I was weird. Now I know I am not weird. Wow.
That's not okay.
What? We have a president now who thinks science is wrong.
We have a executive of trying to cut money out of the budget who thinks sign language is ruining the aesthetic.
What is going on, man? I know we're laughing because of how
man.
freaking cringe all this is, but at the same time, it's aggravating because, but you know what? 2025 is the year. People are pissed. People are pissed. Thanks to Donald Trump again. Donald Trump's the reason I got into this. You know what I mean? The wealth inequality and how you're being treated, and then the insurrection happened. That's what kind of triggered the catalyst of all this. Me being here now. But this is, I don't even know what I was going to say. Forget it.
What kind of dictator crap was that? That is the right response.
I know. It's just too much. It's too much, man. My head hurts. My head hurts. So we have to look forward to this shit for 4 years or more.
Nope,
This
don't
is
say
really-
it. Don't fucking say that.
Dude, I'm thinking they're going to be like Donald Trump gold statues in every city. Like, think about Hitler. He could change the American flag. Like, there's little things Donald Trump could do that could really, they could change.
Well, they're
the
going to have to
country.
change it for the 51st state.
Yeah, right. I mean, could they change the name of the country? Because they're already calling it the New Republic.
Shit like that would all have to go through like Congress and the Senate. And even though I know that they're going to let him get away with a lot, I doubt they would. But at the same time, they probably don't actually care about anything but themselves. So why not?
Do not be surprised if you see the American flag with Donald Trump's name on it. That's all I'm saying. Don't be surprised if January 6th becomes a national holiday. If not, our new Independence Day. So be prepared to be extremely fucking angry about all this. And I hope that's what happens. I hope you guys are up at arms. I mean, I hope your blood is boiling because that's what we need. Oh,
we're not advocating violence. We're advocating participation in your democracy.
There are legal ways to disrupt and piss people off. You know what I mean? Plenty of ways that we can do that. I'm not talking about breaking laws or committing any acts of violence.
Good trouble.
But I think 2025, though, is the year that people finally had it. Oh, that's what I was going to say earlier. It only took me a minute. Sorry, I had some gummy bears before the show that may have accidentally influenced me a little bit. But Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say again. Never mind.
Man, we just all watched that happen in real time.
Donald Trump, I know, right? That's what happens, though. That's what happens. But Donald Trump, with him putting all these billionaires, that's hilarious, dude. Oh, my God. I'm glad we caught that on a live episode. But no, Donald Trump, with him putting all these billionaires in there, I think people are finally starting to see the bullshit. Even the dumb people that supported Trump this whole time are finally seeing that this is all just complete and utter bullshit.
One quick note, Addison, our junior correspondent, which I'm even going to drop the junior. She's more badass than all of us. Right. So she's going to be at her and her family will be at DC at the People's March. We're going to try and see if she can get some interviews in, some footage for us, maybe even call in. I don't know.
Just be careful.
Yeah, just be careful. Like, we have grown to be very fond of Addison and her family. So yeah, please be careful there. I don't trust anything anymore, but no, we're still fighting. Addison's going to get into good trouble as long as she is around. I guarantee you that. And she gives us hope, because if there's anyone that understands what we need to do, it's the next couple of generations, because they are sick of this shit. And all we got to do is reach the white guys, and we might be able to clinch some elections for a long time. We're going to do some shows on that coming up soon about how we got to win the white guys. Because, I mean, the white women, I don't know. They're just, the white women that voted for Trump are going to do what their white men tell them to do anyway. So let's just go for the white guys.
I don't get that one. But yeah, I mean, I agree. They convinced them that somehow they're being discriminated against. Like, Donald Trump's even talking about reparations for white people. Like, this shit is out of control. It's got to be insane.
Just saying that is uncomfortable. Just hearing that.
I know. Like, reparations for what? Being a complete dick? Like, what? Like, what
You're not letting us be a dick. You're not letting us.
This is going to be the biggest nightmare. As long as we're allowed to continue broadcasting, we're going to make fun of it the whole way through. Yeah. But it's going to be there's going to be a lot of hard times, man. There's going to be some stuff I'm not going to look forward to reporting on. Like, stuff that I picture is going to happen that I hope to God doesn't happen, like these concentration camps.
They're being built already. Go look up Texas and Arkansas and look at the camps being built. You could see pictures of it.
Oh my God. Tom Homan. This is Nazi Germany stuff, guys. Tom Homan, the guy that Donald Trump's putting in charge of all this stuff, wants to make a fucking hotline that you can report people that you think are here illegally.
Guess who had that?
Yeah.
Nazi Germany.
What do you think happened to the Jews? Yeah. Neighbors reporting neighbors, guys.
Yeah, there's a reason Anne Frank hid in her roof.
Dude, we were right about it. Oh my God. We've been saying this shit since the beginning of the show. Eventually it's going to be like neighbors reporting neighbors, like in Nazi Germany. And that's what's going to happen. Yeah. They're going to I mean, I know people in my city that I talk about, like, they live next, there's a few that live next to one of my buddy, and they had told him they're not, they're undocumented or whatever, but I told him, like, in this area, man, I would not be comfortable because I'm in a really white, really Trump area.
Just saying, don't be depressed. Be miserable, but don't be depressed. And what I mean by that is, for the first year of our show, we did everything we could to explain to people what was coming. We did it with facts and dark humor. And we're never going to stop that. But if there's one thing that has kept us from losing our minds, it's the dark humor. It's people like Addison, like the young people who are still fighting, who are like, well, we've only known shit, so we're just going to keep fighting. People like Liz, who has told us to get our heads out of our butt and keep fighting. Mm-hmm. Take joy in the community that you are part of, that knows that we need to embrace progress. We need to stop the oligarchy. We need to fight for our rights.
Mayor,
be miserable, but don't be depressed, please.
If I can leave on a positive note, is I can say that there's way more of us than there are of them.
It's true.
There's a lot of people that just don't know it yet. Okay. Cause there's a lot of people because if you're not 100% MAGA, you're not with them. You know what I mean? It's like, so there's going to be a lot of people that are like, I don't want any part of this shit, but they didn't vote. So we can no longer, like, you can't ostracize somebody that didn't vote anymore. You can't be like,
we got to get them.
Right. We
just
have to be there for, we need to be the ones they come to when they're like, what the hell's going on? And we need to explain to them. And we can't be like, this happened because you didn't vote. You can't, because you're going to alienate them, and then they're going to.
You're right. At this point, like when we say we got to get the white guys, we're done yelling at them. Like when we start doing some shows about how we can embrace them, because we have a couple of ideas of what we want to talk about. Mm-hmm. It's similar to not just the people who didn't vote, but the white guys that voted for Trump. They might still be able to be saved. We need to show how their choice is affecting people, because I don't know. But to your point, Jeremy, we cannot continue to ostracize the people that don't think politics helps them, because you know
Right.
what? They're fucking right. So we need to find a way to let them know how we can get politics to help them and how they could participate. That's what we got to do.
All right, there are people, the people that believe in Trump, they can go fuck themselves. But I agree that there's are people that vote based on what I like to call the political highlight reel, which is just what they see on highlights and news and political
Which is
ads.
why the danger of the mainstream media being controlled by rich people.
Right. Now think about that with Elon Musk. I'm sorry, I know we're going over here, Mike, but think about that with Elon Musk. Like, if you don't know anything about politics, you are under the disillusion that, or the
You're the target.
The Elon Musk is this great guy that, you know, is
You're
so
the
smart
mark.
in all these businesses, and he's giving out $100 if you vote for, or vote, you know, register to vote for Trump. Is basically what the whole message was.
Yep.
But you know what I mean? You're like, oh shit.
Oh, yeah,
hey,
remember
they're
that?
giving away
I forgot
money.
about
I'm gonna
that.
vote for that guy. They're giving away money to vote for him. I'm gonna vote for him. That shit is. That's why we have the situation that we're in, man. It's out of control. But we have to fight. We have to fight. There's more of us than there are of them. Okay. The religious extremists, these Nazi.
And we have more to lose because our side embraces the marginalized. And there are people in our lives, people in those of you watching today in your lives, maybe it's you directly, that have everything to lose.
Yeah.
That's who we're fighting for. And there are more people that have more to lose than people who have to gain from Trump 2.0. It's as simple as that.
In 2025, I think people's going to realize that this country should be about rich versus poor.
Yep. Well, it is about it, but we need to make the fight about that.
Right. And according to Donald Trump, if you make less than $340,000 a year, your taxes are going up. So I guess that's where the cutoff for poor people is. I don't even know about that. You know what I mean? Even if you have money,
I don't even know.
Super, super duper rich people, like the 0.0006%. You know what I mean? You're poor. Okay, even if you're a billionaire is going to look at you like,
you know what's funny?
Just a millionaire.
I got to look at the math. I got to look at the math. But you just made me think of something. It might be, and I will confirm this. I'll try and get that for the next show. There might be more billionaires in this country than there are trans people in sports.
Yeah, I think.
Think about that.
No, you're actually right. You're actually right.
Just
saying.
saying.
Thank you so
much.
That's awesome. I think in all of college sports, there's like less than 10 trans athletes in all of college sports. Like,
that's insane.
Not even talking about. It's crazy.
It's
all
insane.
Right, so we went way off topic for a little bit there. All right, we'll cut it off here. Next time, no gummy bears before the show. I promise everybody.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
get a little forgetful when I start rambling. I'll go on to the next topic before I finish what I'm talking about. Oh my God. All right. Anyway. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. Like I said, there's 31 people watching now. If all you guys would just share this video with somebody, that would be all we could possibly ask for. If you guys want to help us build our studio environment, because we are still trying to put out the best possible quality show, we do have a GoFundMe link in the description of the video. You guys have been amazing. Like, I love all the people that watch our show on a regular basis.
Yeah, we love you
weird.
so much.
It's still so weird to me, man. It's so weird to me, but we're gonna keep
Makes
going,
it worth
like we always say, man. It does. Like, that's the reason we keep going, man. Our community that we've built and the friends that we've made along the way. So we love you all. Thank you again for all the support. We've had a lot of fun today. Sorry if I was a little goofy.
Oh, we did.
I worked 3 10-hour shifts in a row. My back was killing me. So
take a nap.
I know, right? No, see, I always get all hyped up after the show. Now I'm all full of energy and feel like I need to go running or something. I'll probably be streaming. No, because that would hurt my back some more.
Go stream some Call of Duty. Go do that.
I'm going to stream some video games after this. So if you guys want to catch me, I'll be on Twitch. All right, we have a conversation over there. All right, love everybody. Love you all. Have a good day. Thank you.